Hi guys, it's Kayla with Kayla's VSG Journey. I was tagged by the new Nicey, I think that's how you pronounce her name, to do the post-op or pre-op tag that was by Chevelle. And so here I go. These are in no particular order. They're just the ones that came to me, and so here they are. First thing, and if I look down, it's because I have notes. First thing is to do research. Research your surgeon. Research the type of surgery you want to do. Figure out what is best for you. Because not every surgery is fit for certain people. Ask your doctor every single question you can think of. Go online. Figure out the stats and statistics. Watch YouTube videos, see what other people have experienced, because this is not easy. It's very emotional, but you need to know what can happen. Even if it doesn't happen to the majority of people, what can happen? Sorry, I'm going to move this down just a tiny bit. So be prepared. You need to be prepared for things like that, and be prepared that things might go wrong with you, and so you need to know. But things might not. Things might go perfect. You just never know. I was prepared to have issues drinking because I've heard a lot of people have issues with that. I haven't had any. I can drink quite a bit in one sitting. I started with a straw about 2 weeks ago because I don't have an issue, and actually I get in more water with my straw. So, but research those things. Number 2 is read all the information your doctor gives you. Reread it and reread it. My doctor's office gave me a binder. When I went there in April, I had my surgery in October. I have reread that binder more times than I can count. I still reread it. It's nice to know or be reminded of what is required by your surgeon. And every surgeon requires something different. My surgeon required a 4-week pre-op liquid diet and a 2-week liquid diet after. My doctor's office does not require calcium. My endocrinologist suggested calcium, but my surgeon's office does not say you have to do that. They also do not. They believe in a moderation type diet, not a super low carb. I mean, at first, you need to get all that protein in, and that's the most important. And still, I'm 3 months out. That is still what I do. I do add fruits and vegetables, but only after I get in my amount of protein, and that's first thing first. But constantly reread those things. What do they say about exercise? What kind of things are required of you? And to me, that has been so helpful. Plus, it constantly reminds me that I mean, I can call them at any time, but I know if I read that, then I'll know what they expect or need or want from me. Number 3, change now. As much as possible. Start doing the things that, like not drinking with Mills. Stop soda pop. Start trying to implement changes. I lost 30 pounds before surgery. Well, part of it was the pre-op liquid diet, but part of it was because I changed. The minute I walked into that doctor's office, I had decided to change, and I decided that was when I was going to start changing, and that if I didn't start changing now when I was there, that what would be the point of waiting for surgery, because then I wasn't going to be committed to that. So I started changing things then, and I am so glad I did. It made things a lot easier after, because I had already not been drinking and eating at the same time. It's still hard to this day. And sometimes I do forget. I'll be a few minutes after maybe like 10 or 15 minutes after eating and just get thirsty and drink, and I'm like, oh, stop. But those are things. Chew slower. That is the one hard thing for me, is eating slow. It's hard when you have a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of food and it's supposed to last you 20 to 30 minutes. How? I still am learning that, but try to slow down. Try to realize that. Also, start figuring out what protein shakes are good and not, that you are not going to like. After surgery, I was not prepared for my taste buds to change. And the protein drinks I liked before, I can't drink. So I've had to switch it up a little bit. I've had to figure new things out, but try them. I liked Premier Protein before. I liked a bunch of things before, but now they just don't fit my stomach. So you need to, I can plug my nose and get them down, sorry, but it's hard. So figure out what combinations of things you like. So that's my number 3. Number 4, stalls are going to happen. Luckily, my doctor's office told me to be prepared for week 3 or 4 stall. So I was prepared for the stall, mentally, or thought. No. Stalls happen. They're hard. Even if you know that they're going to happen, they mess with your mind. You think, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. How am I not losing weight? I'm only eating 200 or 300 calories at this point. I should be losing weight. You know, your body is an amazing thing. It needs to readjust sometimes. And so you're losing weight rather rapidly. You're losing water, and your body goes into shock because you've just had surgery and you're not feeding it all as much as it used to eat. And so know that when that stall happens, your emotional mind and your logical mind do not meet up. But you need to be prepared for the stall. You need to be prepared that it's going to happen. Speaking of a stall, I'm in one right now again. I will admit that this week has not been a stellar week, but it happens. You got to be prepared for that. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, just be prepared. Number 5, follow your doctor's directions as much as possible. I understand. I was in week 3 and was dying for a pickle, and you're in mushy phase right at that time. I tried to eat that pickle. There's a reason. Your stomach is healing. You might feel fine from the outside, but the inside's still healing. Give it time. Try not to push the envelope. It is not worth it. You don't know what you're going to do to that little tiny tummy. You have stitches that are healing, and just follow the doctor's directions. If they recommend only walking for the first little while, my doctor's office said to only walk for the first 6 weeks. Do that. Some doctor's offices are like, after week 2, do whatever. Every doctor is different. Every surgeon is different, and every surgery is different. Somebody else might have VSG and have a completely different experience than me, which is great, and that is to know that that's going to happen. Next would be go to all your appointments with all your doctors. So I met with an endocrinologist, a nutritionist, and my surgeon, and I met with them pretty regularly. And I started in April, and I had my surgery at the end of October. The reason why I had my surgery at the end of October is because I went on a cruise, and I decided that I didn't want to be on a liquid diet on my cruise, and I didn't want to be just out of surgery on my cruise. And so we waited, and then she had a baby, and honestly, I'm grateful things worked out the way they did. I needed to have surgery when I had surgery, but go to every one of those appointments. Go to every nutritionist appointment. Go to every endocrinologist appointment, every surgeon appointment. Go to the psychiatrist. Go to all of them. It is so important. Plus, if you're going through with your insurance, my insurance wouldn't pay if I didn't do those things. But I learned so much from each experience, and they each had something different to help me, and it's a team effort. That is the best part, is that I don't just have my surgeon. I have my surgeon, my nutritionist, I have the nurses in the doctor's office, I have my endocrinologist, I have my family practice doctor, I have my family, but these people help make it so much better. So go to them, even after surgery. I know it's hard, but just make it work. My next suggestion is write down or make a video as to why you're doing this, because there will be a time after surgery where you're going to have buyer's remorse, when you are going to be like, what the heck did I do to myself? Or you are going to forget why you did this. You'll be thinking only about the numbers or only about your successes or failures in your own mind. You don't realize or remember why. I kept forgetting. I always do. So I go back to those things and remind myself, why am I doing this? Who am I doing it for? Am I doing it just for the number on the scale? No. But after surgery, for some reason, that number on the scale becomes everything. And so you need to remember why you did this, especially when you get that buyer's remorse, or when you have a horrible day and you used to turn to food to numb yourself and you can't. I can eat 4 bites of a pizza and it doesn't give me a numbing feeling. It gives me a heartburn and my tummy hurts, and I just am wondering, why the heck did I do that? But you need to be prepared for that. And so you need to remember why you did this. And what is this all about? My number 8 is actually, I found very important. Watch YouTube videos. Watch as many people as you can. Comment on people. Get the support. Get as much support from YouTube or a community Instagram, but watch the videos. Everybody has a different experience, and that is important. I felt, even if you don't make videos yourself, make them and make them private, because then you could go back and watch your success or your journey or your trek or whatever you want to call it, your path. YouTube has been incredible for me. Number 9, find a group to turn to. I have my Instagram group. I have the YouTube people, but I also have people here. There's support group for my doctor's office. There's I could email or call any of my doctors, but also find people. I have a very close friend who her husband and her have had gastric bypass. So I have a very supportive mother and a very supportive husband. My sister is going to get the surgery soon. So find people who can empathize. Those people who haven't had the surgery, they have no clue what you're talking about when you try something and you're like, oh, my stomach hates this. They'll be like, what? Or when people invite you to go to lunch and they're like, you choose. And you're like, I am only going to eat 10 bites of something, so you pick. Because I can find anything on that menu or not anything. I can find something on that menu that is in what I need to eat, and I can eat those 10 bites. But you're the one who's going to eat this whole plate. You're the one that's going to need to want to choose. So find a group of people who are going to support you, because there are going to be Debbie Downers. There's going to be people who have something to say, and it's hard. It's hard. So just be prepared for that. So have people that you could ask questions or feel like you're not alone in this. My number 10 is do your best and know that you could do hard things. Do your best. Because I can tell you my best one day is not my best the next day, because there are some days when waking up and getting out of bed is the best thing. That's the only thing I can do. Where there are other days when I feel like I can run a marathon and I can do anything. So realize that on those hard days, that just do your best. don't beat yourself up over things. You're going to make mistakes. We all do. It's a constant learning thing. I feel like I might get something down one day and then I have to learn something different the next day. But nobody expects anything but your best. And that you need to realize that your best one day is not necessarily the same as your best the next day, and that's okay. But also realize you can do hard things, that nobody is going to change you but you. And that bad things are going to come back into your life, and the temptation's always going to be there, but you're the one who chooses. You're the one who chooses to put that in your mouth. And so that's you can do this. It's just, and it is worth it, but realize that you can do hard things. And my next thing is vitamins. Vitamins. People, do not forget your vitamins. Start taking them before surgery. Start taking them. Figure out what your doctor's office wants you to take and start taking them. Whether they're the chewable gummies, whether they're the Flintstone vitamins, whether they're the bariatric version, find the best vitamin you can get with your money. So sorry. I have kind of a cheapskate husband. I went with the gummy vitamin version because he wasn't going to pay a lot of money for bariatric vitamins. There's nothing wrong with that. My doctor's office said that that's fine. They do not say you have to have this type of vitamin. But I'm religious about taking my vitamins. They are taken every day. And then you will find that you need to add certain things to your vitamin regime. I've added fiber. I've added probiotics and prebiotics. I have added D3 because I feel better when I take those things. So I've also added stool softeners every day and periodic. And I take magnesium. Those are the things that I've added, not because my doctor's office told me to add them, but because they help me feel better. But take them, take them, take them. 13, don't listen to those people who are downer people, because you are going to have those people in your life, and they're going to be hard. And some of the times they're going to be the people you think are the best people in your life before surgery. They're going to say things to you that make you feel uncomfortable. And for me, I've been open and honest about my surgery with people. I don't give them the opportunity to tell me. I mean, they can tell me what they want, but I don't care. I did this for me, and I know why I did this for me. And if you want to talk about it, that's fine. But realize that, you know, what's best for me is not what's best for you. But you don't listen to those people. They just want to cause you to have bad thoughts. They're going to be there. They're going to be there everywhere. They're on Instagram. They're on YouTube. They are in your life. They're your closest friend. You're who you thought was your closest friend. But then all of a sudden you lose weight and they think that you're a bad person, even though they haven't done anything themselves to try to lose weight. But all of a sudden you're terrible because you're having success and they aren't, but they aren't doing anything about it. So don't listen to them. I'm going to go in a different order. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from them. I am slowly but surely learning that popcorn and we have a love-hate relationship. I love it. It hates me. It doesn't hate me for any other reason that because it feels so good in my tummy, I can eat more than I should. So if I measure it out, I'm okay. If I only measure out the 1.5 to 2 cups, I'm okay. But if I open the bag of Skinny Pop and put my hand in there, no. I can't do that. I'll eat too much. You will learn that certain things don't feel good, or you will learn that so many things. Just learn from all of the mistakes you make. Temptation's going to always be there. That is the one thing that I thought pre-surgery. I was one of those people, like people who before they have kids, they think, well, my kids are never going to do that, or I'm going to be the best mom ever. Well, I did that before surgery. I'm never going to eat those things again. Guess what? The temptation's still there. My head is still addicted to food. My head still loves things that it shouldn't love, and it still is messed up. And I'm still learning to figure out life with this new stomach. And there are some times that I'll eat something and then I'm like, why did you do that? I don't know why, but the temptation's going to be there. So, sorry. This next couple is talk nice to yourself, learn to love yourself, and take care of you. I'm a firm believer that the more you love yourself, the better it is going to be. You would never say the horrible things you say about yourself to other people. And you would never feel those horrible feelings that you feel for yourself that you do for other people. Why is it that you can have compassion for others, but you can't have compassion for yourself? You need to love yourself. You need to realize that no one's perfect, but nobody's asking you to be perfect, except for those Debbie Downers. And don't compare yourself to others. This is the hard part. Okay, so I started out at 229 pounds. When I had surgery, it was 198.8 pounds. So I had already dropped 30 pounds of weight. And then I had my first week, and I still was retaining water in my second week, and I instantly compared myself to people who were at a higher BMI or had a different experience or have a different body. And then you get discouraged in all the work that you did. Then you question, well, how come I'm not good enough? How come? Don't do that. I also understand this is partly goes with my last one, is be prepared for the mental mind games. This is part of it. When you compare yourself to others, also hormones, they suck. But they give you a mental game of, well, Joe is doing way better than me and we had surgery on the same time, or Sally lost 25 pounds on week 1 and I only lost 3 pounds. What's wrong with me? Sally is completely different. Her DNA makeup is different than yours. Her BMI is different than yours. Her stomach, her surgeon, her everything is different than you. So just be prepared for the way your brain tries to mess you up, and it's going to try to derail you. But don't compare yourself, because if you do, you're going to be miserable. So that is my my list. I'm sure everybody's is about the same, but good luck. I would do this surgery again in a heartbeat. It was one of the best things that has happened to me. I went to the doctor this week and the nurse didn't even recognize me in the 3 months. She's like, that's not you. So it's an incredible, amazing feeling, and go with it, enjoy it, take care of yourself, but also love yourself enough to do the surgery. Love yourself enough to take charge of your life now. Honestly, I wish I would have done it sooner. I am so grateful for the opportunity that I've had to do this. And if I would have realized that I could have changed my life sooner, I would have been more blessed before. But so that is my post-op wrap. Thanks.